So hello again, everybody. This is the final video, and at the end of a talk, you usually have acknowledgements. So we thought we would just cap it off now at that. So you have the introduction, then you have the PI meetings, or the PI short introductions, like 2-3 minutes. Then you have all the ESR videos, and they're, if you're looking at the web page, they're just above us. And then this is the last final video with the acknowledgements. So we want to acknowledge several things, but just very briefly, right? But they're all very, very important. Max, did you want to say something, Max?
No, that's right.
Yeah. So the first thing is a lot of this really came from two projects. STEMbank very much, because that's where there was an IMI project. It was led by Martin Graf and Zamil Kadir. And that was really where the IPS stuff very much came in. in3 wouldn't have happened without that. But also a second project, Predictive, where Wolfgang Dekant was the coordinator, and that really brought us, where the concept became realized of in vitro and biokinetics and omics. We had done some of it before in parts, but the Predictive project really brought that together. And we also want to acknowledge a partner that, or much larger project, so basically our father project, our mother project, that's running alongside this one, and we've lots of connections to that. That's the EU Tox Risk project, which is where we have lateral or horizontal collaborations and very, very nice ones. And Bob van der Water is the collaborator of that. I think that's it, Max. Do you want to go to point 2?
Yep. So yeah, and that was a bit for an ITN project, but we wanted to have an advisory board, and I think it was a very nice initiative because in particular, when you try to train scientists, then it's good that because these sub-members, all of them have a lot of experience, not age, but experience. And based on that, they were very nice to join some of our and really guide our ESR. And sometimes it's also good that we have people a bit at the side, which on regular occasion come and join and have a look, and then inspire not only the ESR but also the PI. So I'm going to just briefly mention them. Walter Fowler, formerly from the Medical University of Innsbruck. Sally Cowell from Cambridge University, if I'm correct. No,
Oxford
University, sorry. So Blas Barbauer, formerly from Cambridge University. Frédéric Bois, formerly from Inaris, and which is now at Certara. Pina Gini, which is from Milano, and I think it's National Science and Robotics Department. And Thomas Haller, which is from the Medical University of Innsbruck.
So yeah, thanks, Max. So I've talked about Walter before. Sally is really a very important scientist in the field, and she was very helpful to all the ESRs. Baz, he really pushes this kinetic thing where you measure the compounds within the cells. Frederick is a PBPK specialist, and Giuseppe Gini, she's a computational person, so she's really helping on those side of things. And Thomas Haller, unfortunately, he stood down in May 2019. But he's a pulmonary expert, and he really gave a nice contribution as well. And although it was a scientific advisory board, they didn't advise the management team or the PIs. They just really sat down and discussed with the ESRs all the time, and they really advised them. I think Max said in a previous discussion we had that this was on purpose a bottom-up approach. So, and that's where the SAB integrated, and that was really beautiful that they were doing it at that level, because there's little point in advising at the higher level, but if you advise at the lower level, it really would. We want to acknowledge that although the 15 PIs plus 2, we're going to talk about them in a second, they did a lot of teaching and held training courses and online courses. And yeah, Max was saying there was very different parts of that teaching framework, which was important that it all wasn't similar. We want to say that there was lots of other people involved. It wasn't just the core in3, it was all of the collaborators at the institutes, and there's just too many to mention by name. And so we want to thank all the people who hosted the hands-on workshops. And Maxime, can you mention that we, because you said it before and I just forget now, that we always had a workshop with the meetings?
Yeah, so this online meeting is actually our sixth meeting, and alongside every single annual meeting, there was a training event associated to it. You can do it face-to-face on only one travel. And a lot of every organizer took part in the organization of this training event as well. So I want to thank here the organizer of all this annual meeting, as well as all the contributors, which sometimes were local, not necessarily directly connected to in3, but connected to someone from in3, and also sometimes someone traveling to be part of this training event. And this will be also the case for this online meeting. This time people will online, but I'd like to thank them also again for their contribution to this career development meeting that we will have online on Monday.
And now the danger is I'm going to go specific and I'm going to forget things. So on Monday, the 14th of December, which currently
the program is on the same web page as where this video is.
Yeah, but that's not what I was going to say. So tomorrow is Careers Day, but we had lots of them with 6 other events, very specifically dedicated to training. And we thought careers was the best thing to do with the last one because they're not quite finished yet. Although their funding, most of them, the funding is finished, but we're clever enough to find separate funding streams to keep them and so they can finish their PhDs. What was I trying to say? Yeah, we also had hands-on workshops where people actually come and do physical, practical work. And now Max, if you can check the webpage. But
no, I have them. So we in total organize at least 3 hands-on workshops. So one organized by yourself at the VU with a lot of collaboration. And then because a lot of people wanted to go there and the idea was really to have their hands on, then you duplicated it. So there's a lot of people from the VU were involved in that as well. And in my case, I organized one as well in my location at University of Artois, and I thank here people mainly from my lab for helping with the organization of that, preparing the cells, helping during the workshop. And the same is true for Mark Cronin, which organized one, and I was told a very nice one in Liverpool. And by judging the program, a lot of people from Liverpool were involved in that as well. So I want to thank them here, as well as Mark, of course.
And Max did one as well, and Max, they loved that as well. So Max did a transport one on his site in Artois, so that was really nice. I want to thank all the partner organizations. So, I mean, the ones we're going to name were really highly active. So Anna Price from the JRC EGFAM, I mean, she came and ran a whole workshop for us, and she was also, she was also at the first meeting. Where she
did the training events at the kickoff meeting, and then she come back for CCP meeting in Utrecht. So
exactly.
Thanks to Anna.
Well, me, Max, know Anna personally from the Predictive Project as well. I wrote a book with Anna. Well, we were editors of a book where we had contributions from different people. So yeah, it's just nice to reconnect with Anna and push this AOP idea. And I know Morris Whelan is very involved in that as well. So shout out to Morris. Once go AOP, so yeah, let's go AOPs. Gladys, I'm not sure I can pronounce her second name. Can you, Max?
Gladys Wedraugo.
Okay, so Gladys is a team leader in L'Oreal, and she hosted, I think, all of the ESRs and secondments, but specifically Anna. Anna was there for a longer period of time, but they had 1 week, a very short secondment. I think nearly all of the ESRs went, so that was very nice. Uwe Marx and Baron Attic, sorry, I should not forget Baron. They hosted Cormac at the tissue site in Berlin, which was great for Cormac because he really enjoyed it, and he was there just when COVID hit. So I asked him to return because we were all worried about travel, and then he went back and he finished it. So so that was nice. The European Society of Toxicology in Vitro. They sponsor and promote teaching of young scientists in the alternatives field. So it was just a natural ally and partner to be with them. and they have a year, no, a bi-yearly, no, so every 2 year meeting, and yeah, me and Max were joking about bi before because it can mean twice or one every second, so nobody knows. Yeah, so yeah, so that they have every 2 years at the meeting, and so I think we have one in Berlin. That's what I remember anyway,
Yeah.
and they really have
Session in Berlin for the in3, and all of our IS are presented there.
Yeah, so they let us do a speed talk. So they gave us a whole 2 hour session, and they gave us a poster session as well. So it was really great for the ESRs. They were only in the job about a year, and they were a bit nervous. But I said, anybody can make a 5-minute presentation. You have to learn how to do that, but they did it great. And actually, well, I need to talk about something else afterwards, but it's kind of related. People were wearing badges from the in3 that was designed by somebody I'm going to mention a bit later. So that was really nice. And so Chantra was the president, Chantra Eskes was the president when we started the submission. And then Maciej Vinkin was a great leader of ESTIF afterwards. And now I'm not sure if Helena has already taken over, but oh, she has, yeah. So Helena just recently took over. So ESTIF is a great organization, and they really support this kind of activities that in3 does. So then we also had CAT Europe, and unfortunately, though, Martis came for the first meeting, and there was some transport issue. Max, you remember?
Yeah, that was a major storm all over Amsterdam, and he kind of could travel all the way. He was supposed to arrive the previous day, and he did everything to be there. And we thank him again, but unfortunately, he had to join in. He could attend one of our sessions. He is on the first picture, so we just got the chance of getting him on the picture, and at the time we were him, oh no, it's time for going for lunch and having a few drinks and everything. Then he had to fly back immediately.
Yeah, I think I didn't even get a chance to talk to him, and I really like him. And it was a pity because a few weeks now, or a few months, or sometime later, before the next meeting anyway, he left CAT Europe. So I really like meeting Martis. So I'm a bit intimidated by his how to pronounce his second name in case I get it wrong. But I think it's Danashian. Okay, I'm going to not say it again. But Martis is really nice because I've met him several times, and I really enjoy talking to him. And I hope we see you again, Martis. I hope everything's fine. So Max, you're going to have to say Aura's name because I only just got used to saying that first name.
Yeah.
Max is also called Aura. So
yeah. So Aura Bourguignon used to be an ESR from the in3. And she was also the person responsible for all our nice goodies. So we asked the ESR, maybe you should advertise about the project. And Aura came with this idea of making us badges and stickers. And the beauty of it was that, and she was right in doing so, she got it quickly, just on time for our different events. And for example, I'm having my in3 every single day. And these stickers are very useful because nowadays you face a group of people which everyone is facing is behind this computer. So when you have an in3 meeting with in3 people, we have all a sticker on our laptop. It kind of like polish showing creates a very strong visibility.
Yeah, I mean, branding is important, and we know that we are good as a unit, but nobody else would know. So these little badges help because then they associate, oh, that person was from the in3 project. So even though, of course, they're also from their university, and we know that we don't own these people, but we do feel like it's a family. And I wanted to say that we saw people using our badges actually on the other badges, which was nice. And so Aura, it was completely Aura's idea. I mean, I designed the logo, but it was only because of this. The blue was in silico and the green was in vitro. But and you can just really see it. So Aura had this inspiration for that. And yeah, we put it everywhere. And the ESRs always wear it. And we print more all the time and just give it to people. So I've seen people not on the project wearing them, which is really cool. So we thank Aura for that. And we're mentioning Aura especially because she didn't finish her PhD. PhDs are hard to do, and people are moving from one country to the other country. And it's tough. I nearly left my PhD as well. And you never know what to do in these situations. And me and Max really advised Aura, and I think maybe it was a good decision she left. And but we will support her. And Aura, if you're listening, anything you need from us, we'll do it for you. So I said before, the in3 was really like a family, and you can leave a project, but you can't leave a family, right, Oren? So don't think you're going to get rid of us. We'll find you. Max, you do Ellen. Actually, Ellen is sitting right beside me, and I'm not sure she's into the video. So
we also want to thank Ellen. She has been fantastically efficient.
Would you like to sit here while he's done? No, she said no. Okay.
So she has been fantastically efficient at helping Paul in the management of this project. So Ellen is definitely a great person, and it's very pleasant because she's obviously not doing only the management, she's also taking care of the science, asking questions to the students for the sake of the project evolve, and she's helping a lot with all of that. And that's very nice to have Ellen. She kind of really helped us dramatically with all of that. And it's never pleasant to have to send reminders to people, but someone has to do that, and it's crucial that someone really do it properly in a timely manner. So thanks, Ellen.
Yeah, thank you, Ellen. She's happy. So we also want to mention two very special people because officially the structure of such a project is there's one PI and there's one PI per institute. But of course, there's many other people helping, and we know that, and we appreciate all of them. You can see Daniel from my lab in some of the videos, for example. And I mean, obviously there was lots of people helping, but two people who are very visible in the project, and they're actually, even though they're not really you don't see them on the web page too much, is Anya Vilmas at the VU. So Anya works in my division, and she was really at all the meetings. And then Nicholas Minovisky, if I'm saying it right, at the National Institute of Chemistry in Ljubljana, he was at nearly all the meetings as well. It's nice talking to those people because, especially when they're, I talk to Anya all the time, but it was like nice talking to Nicola because, it's just different point of view. He's a computational biologist, and it's just nice. So I just thought we'd give a shout out to them. And then there's two more things. Max, you want to do point 8?
Yeah, so obviously we want to thank the European Commission for giving us these grants. I hope we did great with it. I kind of confirm that, to be honest. And I think it's pretty important because this is also an educational project, and the things we introduce to the students is that you have some responsibility at different levels. And one responsibility here is also that this project is funded by EU, which means that this is European taxpayer money. So we don't gamble with that. We really push hard to achieve the goals that we initiated. I'm kind of happy of what we achieved, and I think we delivered what we promised. But definitely want to thank the European Commission and the taxpayer for their contribution to that.
Yeah, I mean, we think that, the European Union is an amazing project because, those 15 people would never have moved without this project. They experienced the culture in their host. But they also did secondments, and they made so many meetings. So they saw the whole, well, not the whole of Europe, but a good chunk of Europe and cultures in Europe. I myself was a beneficiary of that as well, because I started my PhD in an EU project, a small one. It wasn't a Marie Curie. But I fell in love with countries like Austria and Germany, well, everywhere I went, And then I ended up, because of that, I ended up staying in Austria for 18 years. And now I'm in the Netherlands since 3 years, and I guess I'll be here for quite a long period of my life. And I love these different countries and meeting these different people and trying to learn their languages. So it's a privilege and to get this money, but it's also a responsibility that we use it correctly. And although it's our project and we have ownership of it, the data is the EU's and the EU citizens. So that's why we decided that we'll do real deep dissemination today. It was because of COVID as well, because we couldn't meet. And I said this a few times, we like meeting. So, and we always do things very well, but it's just that nobody ever sees it really. So now the whole world can see it, and it's fantastic. But there's one more guy we should really honor, and that's Shinya Yamanaka. He was the guy who did this genius a 10-year experimentation to make this inducible pluripotent stem cell. That's him talking after he's collecting his Nobel Prize. We did invite him, but I do assume he gets a lot of email, and you probably never see it. But if somebody ever sends you this video, hi, and drop us a line sometime, because it's you started most of the stuff we were doing, and we think the future is brighter because of your discovery. While cell lines and primary cells are good and are useful, we really think the iPS cells are going to drive the future, and they will make animal experiments for toxicology completely redundant, and that's the goal and the objective. So thanks. And so since this is the last talk, well, I don't know what order you're going to watch them. But then, well, we hope we have a good meeting, and we're pretty sure.
It looks like you're saying bye-bye to me, Paul. We can have a drink after that.
Also,
let me finish my talk for tomorrow, and then we have a drink.
Okay. Right. See you, Max.
Bye, Paul.
See you, audience. And